Hi everyone, and welcome to the Red Brick House. So in today's video, I'm starting a new slow stitch project for the month of November. Now it will probably be a 2 to 3 video long process. I've decided to make to stitch a turkey for this month. And I'm challenging myself to make this turkey a little bit more realistic than the Halloween little projects that I did last month. And so I'm really excited to get started on this little turkey. Today the background is what I'm going to be working on, and so I just want to get the background put together, and then probably the next video will be starting the bird and stitching on the actual bird. And so I hope you enjoy this video. Now I do want to say that I am a beginner and that this is not meant to be a tutorial. This is just kind of what I'm doing in the hopes that it might inspire someone else to venture into this type of artwork that I'm loving right now. And so with that said, let's get started on making the background. Okay, I have some different fabrics here. I have my foundation fabric, which is just going to be this old pillowcase, and it's 100% cotton. That's what I'm going to sew everything down to. And then I have this lovely blue color for maybe a sky. So I think I'm going to use that. It's the only really blue that I have that might work for a sky. And then I have some different greens here. So I have like a shirt here that I thought maybe I could reuse, and it is a beautiful blue-green kind of variegated color. So I might use a piece of that. And then I have a different green here. This is more of an army green, kind of a forest green color. It's also another shirt that I'm willing to get rid of that I'm just going to use. And then I'm not afraid to play around with different fabrics. I don't always use like all cotton fabrics, you know, to make things. Because, you know, these shirts, they have little nicks and holes in them. This has a design that's coming off of it. And, you know, I was like, if I can use that in my stitching, I'm going to, rather than just throwing it in the trash. So at least I can use it maybe for something else, even if it might be a little difficult to work with. But anyway, I also just have a few scraps of this kind of chartreuse green that I might use for something. It would probably be an accent. It won't be like the background. And then I've decided I'm not going to use this unless I use like a little bits of these leaves in here. I might try to cut some of those out and stitch them down, or like this piece right here I think would be really good. So I haven't decided on that yet, but that's a possibility. And then I have this fabric that I thought I might cut out pieces here that look really bushy with leaves and stuff. And I might just kind of scatter those pieces around on the base fabric. And then I have one more. I have this adorable, I almost don't even want to cut this up because it's so cute. It's a little Highland cow fat quarter. I have 2 or 3 of these, and I'm not going to use the cows, but I think I'm going to use, I'm pretty sure I'm going to use some of this on the background as well. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know if I want like a big swath of this or a small one. Lots of decisions to be made. But let's get started with the base fabric. So I'm gonna get my foundation piece ready, and then I'm gonna get these also ready. And then I'll come back when I'm ready to show you how I'm gonna stitch it together. Okay, so here's what I have come up with. So I have the blue up here for my sky, and then I used both t-shirts. I put the darker color at the bottom because I thought that's probably how, you know, it might look in real life, where it's darker toward the bottom of the picture. And then I added this little grove of flowers and grass. I put a little bunch over here, and then I have put this little sprig up here. And so I think it looks really cute. That's how my background's gonna go. So I'm gonna take these pieces off, I think, except for the blue, and I might pin everything down and then work on the blue. Okay, I have picked out some colors. Now these were just in my my little nest here of embroidery thread that's already been taken out and cut. So I think I'm going to do that. I have a color, it's kind of a silvery gray color. I think it would look good across this blue. Let me bring you in a little closer. I'm going to start at the top, and I think I'm going just to make some wavy running stitches to start out with. And then I might add some lighter colors and some darker colors just to give it some texture and to give it a little bit of color variation. I'm not going to be doing anything too dark, but I do have a couple of grays, and I think it'll tone down this blue a little bit. Like maybe that's a little bit too dark. But see, I have this gray, and then I have this darker gray. I might not use the darker gray. I don't really like how that's looking, but I might look in my box and see if I can find some other grays. I know I have a variegated blue, but it gets quite dark. It gets kind of navy, and so I think that's too dark. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not really going to do any clouds or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some different colors in my sky so it doesn't look like it's just plain blue like it does right now. Okay, so I'm going to start in the middle. So I have my silvery color here, and it's kind of my medium color of the three colors that I'm going to use in my sky. It's kind of the middle point. It's kind of the midline color. And so what I'm going to do, because I want it to be kind of a wave, I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to start sewing in the middle instead of starting up here at the top and working my way to the ground level there. I'm going to kind of start here in the middle, and I'm going to create a wavy line. So my pieces kind of overlap a little bit, and I'm going to trim that off after I'm finished. And so I might go up first. Try to use small stitches. I'm going to use nice and even stitches, and this is a slow stitch, so I'm just going to enjoy this process, and I'm not going to worry too much about how it looks in the end and how even my stitches are and things like that. So I'll do the first line here with you guys on camera, and then I'll probably do the rest off camera so this video doesn't end up being hours long. I'm pretty sure this is going to take me a while because I just want to really meditate over this. I just want to fill it up with lots of texture and just really enjoy this process. So it's going to take a long time. And that's why this month I'm just doing one slow stitch project. So I can just do a little bit at a time and just add on to it whenever I have the time. I think right now I'm stitching at my table, but I think I'm going to put this in a project bag and just put it in my living room, and whenever I'm sitting down and I have a minute to work on something, I think I might pull this out and just stitch on it for a little while. That's kind of the project that I'm just craving right now. You know, we're getting toward the end of the year, we're getting toward the holidays, and I know typically the holidays get really busy for a lot of us, and they do for me too, but I always make it a point during that time of year to just be still and to do something mindful like this. And I just think it's good for the soul. Okay, so there we go. I got my first little line across that. I already like how it's looking. Let me show you up close so you can see it a little better. It's gonna be so cute, I hope. Well, but like I said, this is all about the process. That's what I am excited about here. So there's my first line. So then all my other lines are just gonna follow this line across. And so I'm gonna keep going on there. I'm gonna change colors, and we'll just see how it turns out, how it looks in the end. Okay, so I will come back when I get my sky completed. Okay, I just wanted to jump back on here and talk about something for a minute. As I was working on this sky and how I kind of changed the colors, now I don't know how well it's going to show up on camera, but I started noticing something happening. And I noticed that kind of by accident, I made some bigger stitches on this side, and then my stitches got smaller as I went to this side, just kind of accidentally. But what I realized is that from like, I don't know, I guess like an artist's point of view, which I don't really know how much artistic talent I have, but I started noticing that the bigger the stitch, it made it look a little bit like this was more in the foreground and that this side was further away. So it's very interesting to me that if I used bigger stitches over here and then gradually made my stitches smaller as I got to this side, it might appear that this side is further away than over here. I think that is so interesting. I also think that because I put white on this corner right here, I did white up here, and I think that if I did this whole, instead of going light, medium, and darker color, if I did it this way, where I did a light, started with white over here, and then did the silver, and then maybe went into like a darker blue-gray over here on this side, I think it would help it to look that way. So I just found that very interesting. I didn't know how you could get like a perspective when working like this, but that's so interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody else, but but I just started noticing these things as I was working on this, and so I think it's so interesting. So anyway, I just wanted to say that. Now I'm just gonna finish my sky. I don't know if it's gonna change the way I'm doing things. I might go ahead and put some lighter colors over here and then move into darker colors over here. I may do it just to try it and see what that looks like, because it's so fun experimenting with things like this. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna get back to work and I'm gonna finish my sky. Okay, I have my background all ready to go. I did some straight stitching. Bring it up close so you can see better. All this is, I just did some straight stitching across here. And I pinned on these little pieces where I want them. And then that's all I did down here too. I just did some straight stitching across here just to kind of look like grass. Just super simple. Nothing complex or difficult. Even though I'm challenging myself to do this landscape and make it look a little more realistic, I'm gonna keep the stitch works very simple. At least I'm going to try to. Because I am still, you know, a beginner, like I said. Or I've said in lots of my videos. So I'm gonna do one of these little patches of grass work here with you on camera. I just went ahead and did this so that the video wouldn't be quite so long. And so I'm going to do that, then we'll situate the turkey. I'll tell you what's going on with my turkey. So I want to put kind of a big patch right here. My turkey's going to go over here. And I think after I get the turkey done, I'll probably come back and do a lot more just grassy, shrubby kind of stuff. And fill in where it looks bare. At least that's my plan. That's what I'm going to try to do. So I'm going to come kind of in the middle and I'm going to make this pretty big and it's going to overlap this piece of fabric right here. Hopefully, I want to do that to kind of tie everything in together so it doesn't look like separate pieces, like it looks like one cohesive piece here. And I'm just doing these kind of in different directions. I just kind of start in a middle point. I have a cat in here with me today. Please be nice. Please behave. Can you lay down? Can you go lay down? Are you going to cause problems for me? You're going to cause problems, aren't you? Shadow has entered the room. I'm going to bring this in. I'm a little distracted today. I'm sorry. Should have done that before I started stitching. Might need to come in a little closer. I'll be glad to get these pins out of here because I keep getting caught on all of them. Oh, and I didn't mention the fact that here in my needle, I have two strands. I have this light green color here. My camera will focus. I have that light green color, and then I have a brown color. So you can kind of see there. I have two different strands in there because I thought that kind of looked good. I don't want my grass and stuff to just all be one color. I want it to look natural, so I'm trying to get it to be kind of all different colors. I may even come back with some maybe a little bit of orange or like a golden wheat yellow color and fill in some more around here. I think that would look really nice. I'm trying really hard not to overstitch this. I mean over pull it when I'm stitching because I did that over here where it's kind of stretchy because this is like t-shirt fabric, and then I realized it was kind of looking weird. So I have to really make sure that I don't over pull these straight stitches, especially the longer they are. It's really easy to do that when you're making long stitches like this. Okay, so I've got quite a few there. Now I'm just going to make some smaller ones just to kind of fill in and make it look a little more natural. My cat's just walking around all over the place. Trying to see what he can get into. He is the mischievous one of the bunch. Uh-oh, I'm going to lose my thread. Did I lose it? Oh, yes I did. Okay. To rethread my needle. That happens sometimes. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do here. I'm just going to keep making these straight stitches across here until it looks kind of full. And then I'm going to put my turkey on. I'm excited. So the prep work I've done already for this video, like I said, just so that it won't be too long, I found a picture. Well, I looked at lots of pictures of turkeys. So I got a bird book from the library, and it's kind of like a field guide where it has all different kinds of North American birds in it. And I looked at that, and then I looked at another another book that had like a hand-drawn turkey in it. I've looked at pictures, like real live pictures of turkeys that people have taken. And so I've just looked at all different kinds of things to kind of figure out, you know, how I wanted my turkey to look. And so that's how I drew my picture. Okay, so I have finished up that little patch, and now I'm going to work on my turkey. So I just took some paper and I kind of cut it down to the size that I wanted my turkey to go on here, so that I would know what size I needed to draw my turkey. The first one I drew it a little bit too big, so I had to downsize my paper again. And so I just looked at different pictures. Like I said, I looked at photographs of turkeys. I looked at hand-drawn pictures. I looked at watercolor pictures. I mean, I just looked at all kinds of pictures of turkeys. And then from that, I drew my own. And so I think I'm going to place him about like right here. And I have this little scrubby piece of fabric that I cut out that I think his feet are going to go underneath that. So I'm probably going to stitch in his legs. And so he'll kind of go like that on my, oh, that's too far. Hold on. That's not right. I think it'll be more like over here. Or maybe I need to move that down a little bit. I think it's going to be more about like that is how it's going to look. That way you can still see the little field of flowers. So I'm probably going to add lots of little bunches of like little bushes, little clumps of bushes over here. I'm going to try to challenge myself to make that, even though it might not look the best, because I don't have all the embroidery stitches in my wheelhouse. I haven't learned them all yet, but I've learned quite a few. So I'm going to try out some different stitches and see if I can create something that kind of looks, looks kind of realistic. I really enjoyed working on this landscape. I think what I want to do though, before I start getting my turkey ready, is I think I'm going to stitch down this up here. And as well as this one, I think I'm just going to stitch around the edge and leave this up here open. And then I can start working on my turkey. Okay, the cat has left the room now, so maybe I will be a little less distracted. He kept scratching around in this box I have with some of my stuff in it. Oh my goodness. Okay, so like I said, I'm just going to stitch around here. I'll probably just do a running stitch. I'm feeling like just, I don't know. I just want to keep it simple today. And so, although I do want to kind of, I don't know. I think I want to move this to the very, very edge. Because I had it kind of not on the edge. So I think I want to move it down a little bit so that it's more right there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stitch around. And start, oh, I don't want to start there. I'll come up behind it. Start about right here. And I'm just going to do little small stitches. I just want to kind of keep it tacked down. Okay. Well, I just about have this one tacked down. I'm going to tack down the other one. And then we'll look at the turkey that I did. So I think I'm going to cut out that turkey. I'm going to cut my turkey up into pieces. And that's how I'm going to cut it out of the fabric. So let me get this tied off. I'll get the other one tacked down and I'll show you the fabric that I got from my little turkey. Now on this one, instead of doing a running stitch, I'm just gonna go around in different spots and tack it down. I think that's what I'll do here. Oh, I just realized that my thread is more or less the same color as this little stem. So I'm just gonna keep my thread line on top of there. And that's really all I'm gonna do until I get my turkey done, and then I'll come back and I'm gonna do some embroidery work on this little piece. I don't know, sometimes, like, because I'm new at this, I'm not sure if I should do this first and the turkey's head's gonna kind of come over the top of it, but that would be just fine. So actually that might be, I may work on this piece first before I do the turkey. I'm sorry if I'm being too scatterbrained or too confusing today, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, now I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do a stem stitch on this. And I'm going to go straight up this line up to about right there, maybe all the way up to where it Y's right there. So I'm going to come up at the bottom. I haven't done this very often, so this will be kind of new for me. Okay. I want these stitches to be pretty small, so oops, sorry I'm out of frame. My thread is twisting up on me there. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna hold it this way. Maybe that will be easier. Okay. Then I'm gonna come up under that loop. About halfway up my stitch. Can't get my needle, that's good. Right there. Wait, did I do that wrong? Oh, maybe not. Okay. I think I'm doing it right. Okay, so I'm going to make another small stitch. Right here. I think stem stitch is kind of forgiving, so it's kind of like running stitch. Actually, I think it's a little more forgiving than running stitch because your loops over the top kind of cover up your stitches. There we go. Trying to keep my stitches about the same size. There we go. Oh, it's looking cute. I'll do one more. Try to hold it up close here. If you haven't done stem stitch before, you make a stitch and then you don't pull it all the way through, and then you come up in between your two threads there. About in the middle. And then you just pull. And it makes kind of more of a straight line appear than like backstitch does. And you just go and you make your next stitch. One thing I have heard people tell me, or well, not tell me, but what I've seen people in instruction is that you would want to put your loop over here, because I've been holding my loop down here toward the bottom. You wouldn't want to start putting your loop over the top of your stitch. That you want to keep that going in the same pattern you've been doing. So I'm just going to keep making these. I'm going to do this stem right here, and then I'm going to do this stem and this one. all with stem stitch, and I'll come back when I'm finished with that part. Okay, so I finished all my stem stitch work, and I have started making French knots on these little ends. Now I might not do every single one, but I'm going to do several of them. And I am using 3 strands to do this in my needle here because I want my French knots to, I mean, they don't have to fill the space of these little dots, but I want them to look pretty big without me having to wrap my needle like a whole bunch of times. So I'm wrapping my needle about 3 times to do it. And I think it's working pretty well. I think French knots take practice. And that's what I'm doing. I'm practicing my French knots here. So I'm going to keep going on those. I just wanted to share what I was doing. I'm coming up in the middle of that little dot. And then I'm wrapping it around my needle. I'm going about 3 times, getting that needle right up next to where I came into the fabric at. And then I'm pulling it, holding it tight here at the end until it gets to the very last bit. Then I'll let it go. And that's making my French knots there. I'll do one more. Going to do this one. I have to lay it down to do this part. But I just wrap it around. I'm doing, like I said, I'm doing 3 times, and I'm pulling my needle back. I'm poking it right, trying to get right next to where I came up out of the fabric, going right down next to it, holding it tight until the very end, then letting it go. And so it's giving me these little knobbies on top, and I love that. I love the texture that these create. So I'm going to keep making these on this little piece of fabric, and then I'll be ready to cut out and place my turkey. Finally! Okay, it's all done. I think it looks really cute. I don't know how well you can see the texture on there. Maybe I'll kind of turn it. You can see the little dots or the little knots. I think it looks really cute. It feels really neat. I love putting textures onto fabric. So next, let's work on placing my turkey. And I think that's probably where I'm going to end this video, and I will come back when I'm ready to stitch my turkey. So I have some different fabrics here. I'm going to use the brown, this dark brown for the tail, and then I'm going to use this lighter brown, this light cream for the edge of the tail. And then I have some gray fabrics, kind of some mottled gray, and you can see I already drawn, oh yeah, I was going to do the legs out of this. I've already kind of drawn some legs and a little face or a little head for my turkey. And then this fabric will be the body. Now I'm not sure if I want to keep it that way or if I want to turn it over and have it that way. I'm really tempted to use this because I think I kind of like it better than this side. This side's awfully black, and I think this side might look a little bit better. So anyway, I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to use the back side of this. And so I think what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to cut out my turkey. Okay, I have my turkey all cut out and all pinned together, and that was very tedious. But it does look more like a turkey right now. I think the wing looks a little bit too big, so I may fiddle with that later on. But I just want to get my turkey placed on my background to see kind of what it's going to look like. And so I'm going to be very careful here. I'm going to move the legs. I did not put the legs on there, so we'll just move those to the side. And I'm going to put, I'm going to see if I can pick it up. Some of this stuff I don't have really pinned down, so let's see here. If I can gently lay my turkey up here, just so I can kind of see how it's going to look. I'm going to move it up a little bit. Okay, so there it is. I think it's going to look really cute once I get it all stitched down. I think it'll look pretty cute. It does look kind of bare over here. I'm really going to have to put some more stitch work over here in this little flower garden. So I'm probably going to do these little flowers in these dark areas. I might add a little bit of stitch work. Just some really tiny stitches. I'm not sure yet. But this is where I'm going to end the video. So this will be my first video. The second video will be me stitching the turkey and putting on the finishing touches. So I thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and leaving comments. It just means the world to me. I just thank you so much for that. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.